the results of HCL Technologies as India's third largest IT services firm announced its Q3 FY26, which is October to December 2025 results. And the quarter showed solid operational execution with revenue and EBIT margin beating street expectations driven by seasonal strength in the products and platform business, currency tailwinds and steady deal momentum. However, net profit seems to have disappointed, coming in notably below consensus due to one-off impacts. And I have Jasmeet, as I said, he tracks the IT sector so closely. Jasmeet, take us through the key points of the results, what stood out and what was amiss?
Well, thank you for that. We look at the overall revenues. Revenues has done really well for the company. It has grown as brilliantly street estimate, where the estimation was 33,000 and the revenue came at 33,800. While the revenues are by 6.4%, but the expectations was roughly between 3 to 4%. If you look at the overall software segment, the software segment has been softer for the overall IT pack given a seasonally weaker quarter. But for this particular company, given the product background, has done really well for the company, as we can see in the revenue which has grown. If you look at the overall EBIT is a 14.2%, where the estimation was roughly 8%. While the margins are something that have really done great for the company, up by 133 basis point versus an estimate of 80 odd basis point. In terms of net profit, that's a miss on the back of that one-off expense that was seen in TCS as well of the new labor code, but that's particularly impacting the net profits by 926 odd crores. So all in all, we see a good set of numbers, but the profits are miss on the overall estimates.
Okay, so basically the top line has done well, EBIT is healthy, margins look healthy as well, but profit has taken a dip in this quarter. We have Gaurang Shah, Senior Vice President of Geojit Investments, joining us at the moment. Sir, we're trying to decode the results of HCL Tech. What do you make of these results, and especially in light of Q3, where IT numbers really have kick-started the season, but with some modest results, if you will?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good evening to all the viewers of NDTV Profit. A small disclosure, since we have coverage on HCL Tech, we have a fundamental coverage from our fundamental research team from a long-term point of view. Our company, Geojit or I, we do not have any personal investments, no financial interest, no conflict of interest. But we give advice to our clients on similar lines. They might have their investment in this. So this one-off thing has become a common point in both TCS as well as HCL Tech numbers, because even in TCS, the one-time labor cost that actually dented the net profit number, which was a stag below than the estimates. Even in HCL Tech case, it has missed by a little bit larger margin than what TCS has done. But overall numbers, as far as the top line and the margin is concerned, they seem to be in line or a little bit better. I think a press conference or a detailed commentary from the management, either later this evening or tomorrow morning, should help understand the numbers in detail. It has been a tough time for the IT sector, but I think the numbers have been for the second quarter better than what the street expected, and for the third quarter, as far as TCS and HCL Tech is concerned, I think the one-time hit has taken a dent as far as the profitability is concerned.
Hello, Mr. Gaurang. Jasmeet joining in here. I would like to continue the further point of that one-time expense you see. We see an expense of 926 odd crore impacting the profit, which was a shock for the street after we saw in TCS. Now, where do you see this continuing going forward, and how much of impact do you expect on the bottom line from the overall, the new labor code expense?
So I think that would be a prudent question to ask the management in terms of what their view is going forward into the future. I hope that it is not going to be a continuous process in the fourth quarter. This is my assumption. And even if there is a smaller number, then that should possibly not be taken very seriously. But I think the detailed commentary one can only expect from the management as far as this labor costs are concerned, as to how long it is going to prolong. You know, most of the companies try to provide it one time in one-off quarters and then possibly deal with it in the next quarters.
Absolutely. Adding to that further point, continuing the same aspect, we see that it has been almost 2,000 odd crore for TCS and 926 odd crore for HCL Tech. Do you see a bigger impact coming in for the mid-cap firms and the small-cap firms?
Well, it all depends upon what the scope is, honestly. Being judgmental, looking at these two numbers and taking a view, whether it could be a larger dent for certain other mid-cap or small-cap companies, I think that will be a little bit premature. So I think we'll just have to watch out, wait for it till the numbers are out, and hope that there is no serious dent.
Well, all right. If we look at the AI, moving to the AI commentary of the company, the AI revenue, the company was the first one to report its AI revenue back in Q2 at $100 million odd dollar. And this said the company reports further on that at $146 odd million, which is up by 19 odd percentage on QOQ basis. Do you see the trend continuing going forward? And do you think the overall AI part will become a huge chunk of the revenue in no time?
So that's why I think if you want to be relevant in IT, AI has to be a very core part of your business now going forward. And that's one of the reasons why we've seen acquisitions also happening in the IT sector as far as AI is concerned. Along with that, we also seen an incremental headcount also with respect to the product and services that one can, because this AI environment is very, very challenging and you need to cope up with all those challenges. So I think there's going to be more acquisitions, more headcounts, more efforts, more strategies would be in place as we go into the future. So yes, this number can be scaled up as we go into other quarters.